And what a beautiful way to kick it off. We've got one incredible and, I gotta say, mesmerizing Flash Gordon, Sam J. John.
That's me. That's scary.
Scary way to start.
That's a scary looking Santa right there. Hey, kid, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, not the call out. Okay, now I feel comfortable to sit with you on the couch. Are you kidding?
Right here, yes.
Yeah. See, this is where I sit, but now I'm chilling. Hey, sponsored by Ashley Furniture. I hope I'm
Why
right.
am I so low here?
It makes it deceives you.
Yeah, here we go.
You want to go for the back support?
Look, if I close my eyes, it's not being rude, okay?
I'll just keep
I'm
talking
just,
and pretend
meditating, thinking about how I'm going to answer, okay?
Take your time, exactly. Take your time.
What?
Get a little back support. Don't be shy.
Get myself back.
Let him be comfy, guys. See the back support. See, if this is not sponsored by Ashley, I'm gonna bite my words, but couch sponsored by Ashley Furniture, maybe. Yeah, back support, baby. There we go.
Posture is everything.
Didn't even need the mic for that one. So, as you guys may know, if you've been around before, you get the drift. This is a Q&A panel. I see a lot of lovely faces in that crowd. You have an incredible chance to ask some questions and get them answered. And people have been shy, so I'm going to be mean. Get a question, have an answer, go line up to that microphone. We've got some awesome volunteers. There's a little guy in a blue shirt right there that'll help you out. If you need anything at all, you know where to go. Come on, don't be shy. Line up, line up. So, first of all, is this your first time in Corpus?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's my sexy voice, okay? Yes, it is. Been trying to come here for a long time. Great town out here. It's wonderful. Right outside my window in my room, I get to see the,
Beautiful view.
Is it the Lexington? Is that cool?
Yeah, there it is. That's where
Yeah.
I look to the locals that know, because I don't. But I'm happy you can have a good time so far.
And the crab, have you had the crab cakes yet? That puppy, well, it's not a real puppy.
Wait, where are we talking? Where are we talking?
But that crab cake is about that thick, guys, right? Is that normal for Corpus Christi? Oh my gosh, woo! That's all I've had. That's all I've had since I've been here. Is the hummus and the crab cakes.
That's a nice diet for the weekend.
Yeah. That's wonderful, it really is.
Yes. Okay, so I'll kick it off with my own first personal question. With your work in the Marines, with your work in security, with your work in acting, do those fields of work overlap in any ways that you've noticed?
Similarities, the irony of, running the, I don't know if you know, but I've been...
Yeah, give us...
let me give you a quick little story, okay? So, I've only been an actor 47 years. I've been a Marine for 53 years, right? In my mind, I'm still a Marine. I don't believe in retirement or, former or ex or any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so my wife was very encouraging. She always is. But 25 years ago, she said, you've been waiting by the phone for a while. It's not ringing, okay? And at that time, right now we have 5 kids. We have 8 grandchildren. So at that time, our kids were very, very young. I think the youngest ones were 2 in diapers, 1 just out of diapers. So she saw that I was waiting by the phone and not providing, okay? So she said, look.
Think about the kids.
She said, I don't know what you're going through, but we got 2 kids in diapers, 1 out of diapers. There's the door. There's the door. You come back to this family when you're providing. I said, okay. So here I am at that point, my God, I'm in my 40s. And so a buddy owned a construction company. I started doing construction, which was great. I looked at it as a workout. It was a great workout, but I knew I couldn't do it forever. So she encouraged me to reach out to my former Marine Corps buddies who were doing what we call high-end security operations, protecting people in high-risk environments. That's what it is. So I reached out. They said, you got to do all the training. We call it Federal Protective Doctrine Training, same as the Secret Service, same as the ATF, same as the FBI. And I went through that. I got all the permits, the weapons permits, all the training. It's basically common sense stuff, And so that's what I do. So if the movie business is slow, then I run security operations and vice versa. And in between that, I get to come here to Corpus Christi and do these incredible Comic Cons. Yeah, so.
Kick back, have a little fun.
Yeah. So what's the moral of this story? Guys, listen to your wives, okay? Seriously.
She knew what to do.
So now I have two different vocations. And I'm still at 70, I started doing this at 45, 50. But at 70, I have two different vocations. And the big lesson for me, Kit, was that I had to transition from, I'm an actor. And when I talk about me, guys, I want you to put your story into what I'm talking about. In other words, if you're a doctor, teacher, truck driver, so I had to learn to say, I had to transition from, I'm an actor. I'm just an actor. No, men, we need to be saying, I'm a working man. And I will do anything I need to do to legally, okay, to provide for myself and my family. That was a turning point. Not only did it save my ass, it saved my marriage, the kids are happy, they were really amazing.
Nice. It's very easy to find your niche and then just stay in that and feel like you can't leave it. So it's very interesting, very nice. I've seen a lot of, you've won awards for this. You've gotten a lot done in that corner as well. So it's incredible to see that. And so that being said, since you do such awesome side ventures, back to acting. What's your favorite acting role that you've done so far? It might be a no-brainer.
My gosh, I've been doing it for 47 years. But Flash Gordon was iconic. The reason why we're here right now, I refer to Flash Gordon as the triple blessing. Well, okay, Sam, that sounds cool, but what's the first blessing? Again, for any of us, is getting hired, okay?
The paycheck.
Getting hired, it brings value. We're making money, we're serving other people and other causes and sort of taking the eyes off of ourselves. So first blessing is getting hired. Second blessing is whatever we do, if the project turns out successful, that's the second blessing, right? Being part of something that is a success. And now the third blessing, so what's the third blessing? Longevity, okay? That's what we're talking about right now. So yeah, I'd say I love it.
I asked that question knowing the answer, absolutely. So once again, guys, I'm just saying, I don't know if you heard me the first time, this is a Q&A panel, come on! There, see, I have to push them. I have to yell at them.
That's crazy Santa right there, man.
I know, he's coming straight to stare into your eyes. Come on, Santa.
Tell us your name and your character name.
My name is Ray. This is Art the Clown from Terrifier 3 and 1 and 2. I got English, it's a little bit hard to talk, but I was going to ask you, when you have that training for security, did you use any kind of anything that you learned there that you applied it in on some of the movies? Well, some of the scenes?
Coming across it, for me, maybe it's my old age here, as you're in an echo chamber, so maybe back off just a little bit.
Yeah, there
you
you
go. Sorry. Is it better now?
Better? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, when you work in security, the moves that you learned there, did you apply them in one of your movies, in the future? Or?
Yes. Running security operations and making a movie, it's crazy the similarities. I'll give an example. When we go to make a movie, when we go to to implement a security operation, we've already done about 80% of the work, right? Movie business, you do all your development, all your pre-production, we call that scouting. Security ops is called advanced work. You've already done a whole lot of advanced work. And of course, you got to think outside the box because you can do all the planning you want. You show up on a movie set and on a sunny day, and next thing you know, it's torrential rain and or snow, or it's happened before. So you better have a plan B, C, and D. Same thing for security op. You plan it out. You're going from point A to point B. You're doing this, and then you need to be proactive in both operations. But very, very similar. Yeah, very similar. But you better do a lot of planning, do it right, do it effectively, and then have some contingency plans. Option A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. Okay?
I feel like that falls in line with a lot of careers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. Beetlejuice, come on up.
So I was wondering, have you embodied Flash Gordon in everything you do, like security, Marines? Have you took Flash Gordon and became him?
No, it's a great question. You're the going to Las Vegas guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got some backstory already.
Yeah, I know it's been, we've talked a few times. Again, same security operations, movie business, Sam J. Jones, Flash Gordon. I don't say that to be coy or smart or whatever the word is, or arrogant, but there's not much of a difference. Okay, now why is there not much of a difference between Sam J. Jones and Flash Gordon? Well, first of all, Flash Gordon is one of the few superheroes who does not have superpowers. And I think this character, and then Sam J. Jones, I'm the guy, I'm the Marine, you know, I mean, if something went down right now, again, and this is not braggadocious or whatever the term is.
It's okay.
If something went down, seriously, if something went down right now, whether it's Flash Gordon or Sam J. Jones, neither of those two are going to call a board meeting to figure out what to do. I'm going to neutralize, I'm going to discern and identify the threat, which will take maybe 1,000th of a second, and then I'm going to neutralize the threat. I'm not going to call for my agent to come in here, okay, or for the attorneys to, no. We're going to, all of us, we're going to, we're going to help each other out, and we're going to neutralize whatever that threat is. It's just that simple. So I'm like that in real life because of my military background, and just, just common sense stuff. And we have this military, law enforcement, training, security, private security, government security. We have this little technique which is simple. I love it. It's common sense. It's called the duck theory. Okay? If a guy comes in this room right now, if he walks like a duck, looks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a freaking duck. Okay? Don't over brainstorm and like, well, we don't want to hurt. No, it's a freaking duck. It's a bad guy. Okay? He's either getting ready to do something or he's about to do it. You don't need to, but if you're not sure, you don't want to tackle him and take him down unless you know for sure. But I'm just saying, behavioral forensics, that's a fancy name for the study of human behavior, okay? If it looks like a freaking bad guy, acting like a bad guy, it is a freaking bad guy. So, maybe I'm not going to tackle him and break his arm or his leg, but, maybe just assess it. And then when I'm done with my assessment, maybe he needs a nice little hug or a headlock or something,
Take notes, everybody.
But we're going to keep things simple, guys. We use these other fancy terms called situational awareness. How about, something over there is not right, okay? We have to stop thinking about maybe hurting other feelings when it comes to something that is so freaking obvious and so 100% preventative from happening, and just address it. That's all.
It makes total sense. Thank you for your question. I know what this guy's going to ask.
I'm just curious, what's your workout routine? How do you stay fit?
What's my workout routine? Well, I just left the green room. That's where they serve all the snacks. Cannolis. Okay, no. I keep it simple. Everybody knows Lou Frigno, my buddy Lou Frigno. Incredible.
There you go.
He's still in great, he's 74, he's in great shape. And he's oversimplified everything, and I'm basically doing what he's doing. We go in the gym together, and I love it. The first thing he says when we go into any gym, whether it's the hotel gym or the local gym here, he'll go up to the manager and say, look, Sam and I, we're here to work out, okay? We're not doing autographs, we're not doing selfies until we work out. So why did I tell you this? Okay, we need to eliminate. I still go to the gym today. I have my own gym at home, but I go any gym I go to. It blows my freaking mind that there's a guy sitting on that chair where I want to do the lat pulls or whatever it is, right? Chest, and he's sitting there on the freaking phone. Now, my first thought is I want to go up and take his phone away, okay? But you can't do that, you know?
Flash Gordon can, it's okay.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Working out, don't take anything personal, okay? Here's Lou's philosophy, is now mine. Go to the gym, eliminate any and all distractions, put your phone on silent, unless your wife is calling, guys, okay? So for our age, now we've decreased the weight. We're not going there to, snap the backs anymore or pull any muscle. So get in that gym, eliminate any and all distractions, and lower the weight. When you go to do your form with his curls, absolute perfect form. None of this nonsense, okay? Just don't fight it going down a little bit, okay? Absolute perfect form, back straight. And then your next station, are you ready for this? Here's the key. Your next station should be only 5 to 10 seconds later. Okay, that's it. None of this 2-minute wait, unless you're on the pull-up bar and you're doing heavy weight. I got it. Maybe rest a minute. But you should be going from station to station every 5 to 10 seconds. So if somebody's in that seat, that's your station, you know what? Skip him or her. Go to the next one. Don't take it personal. You're there to get your workout done. You're not there to socialize. And believe it or not, you can get a lot done. Now, I'm not making this up. You can get a lot done within 7 minutes, within 12 minutes, okay? And then if you got more time, but I'm just saying nonstop. So now you've done a cardio weight routine. And then of course, if you got more time, 45 minutes to more, you do it. But you do something. You don't do nothing. And of course, eating, here's my thing about eating. Eat as much as you want, but everything you put in your body should be of value. Eat a lot. People say, eat 3 to 5 chicken breasts. Eat a steak, okay? But when it comes to cheating with the desserts, yes, cheat 1 day a week. But the problem we do is, the human condition, is we want to compound it. Ooh, let me get that piece of cheesecake, man, every day. No, but cheat. Don't deprive your body of those cool things out there. Like me, flourless chocolate cake. Oh, come on. Give me a flourless chocolate cake. I'll eat the whole thing in front of you. 1 day a week. Seriously. But yeah, when I leave here, they got the lasagna. They got the sweet Italian sausage with the lasagna. And they got the cannolis. I'm going to have a plate of that. Okay?
Thank you for your question.
And that way you don't, no. But keep it simple. Everything I'm talking about nowadays, again, apply it to your own life, but keep it simple. But again, and the key thing that Lou said, do something, but don't do nothing. Even if it's 7 minutes. Well, say, what can you do in 7 minutes? How about go in the weight room, pick up the dumbbells for 7 minutes. Okay, but not sloppy. 7 minutes. You could possibly get 100 to 300 reps if you do it right. Oh my God, 200 reps, 300 reps? That's a freaking workout in 7 minutes.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that philosophy could apply to a lot of things. It's you get so intimidated about the fact that you're wasting the time that you don't realize if you put the time in, it works. You're ahead from where you were. So going back to speaking about going to the gym and saying no selfies, autographs until afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Is that impactful for you guys working out? Is that something you also deal with?
It's on a higher level with Lou because Lou's, my God, the Hulk, Mr. Olympia. How many people, do you remember that he came back at the age of 42 years old? Raise your hand if you remember. He came back. He won all those Olympias and Mr. World and all that in his 20s. He decided to come back at the age of 42, right? You remember, Ray? You remember? Okay? Do you remember what his competitive weight was? What he competed at? What his weight was at 42 years old, where he got second place in the world as a 42-year-old? You remember? Guess. Guess what his weight? Remember, he's a 6'5" frame. Anybody guess? Throw it out there. How much? No, he's a 6'5" frame. 320 pounds. He got second place in the world.
Gosh.
320 pounds he competed at. And he proved that a 300-pounder can win, okay? Can be top 2 in the world. remember, he wasn't competing with 4-year-olds. He was competing with the 21-year-olds.
It's such a different age frame, and I mean, like, even when you're like going into your 30s, there's such a significant decrease. There's only so much you can do. So yeah, that's crazy work.
So when we were going to gym together, it's about Lou Ferrigno. You know, and they say, yeah, you look for me. I said, yeah, I'm Dolph Lundgren. How you doing, man? Good to see you. But no, I mean, you walk into a gym, you know, it's I don't care who you are. You know, Jason Momoa, yeah, he's very recognizable. But there's, you know, especially a gym where people are competing, you know, like Gold's Gym or World's Gym or something like that. Yeah, Lou is the guy, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Question real quick. What is the most dangerous situation you found yourself in during your security work?
For whatever you can say legally.
Yeah, no, what's the most dangerous situation that we've ever been in? Right? We're security. You know, here's the deal. We're, running cross-border ops into Mexico on a daily basis for many years. I did. And thank God I had a great supervisor. Seriously, he would let me off to go to Comic Cons or to do a movie. No, seriously. But dangerous, you know, we're taught to see, so we don't play around with this stuff. In other words, we're running hard in a 2 to 3 car motorcade convoy, right? We're running hard, meaning hard skins, meaning armored vehicles, level 6 armored SUVs. So that's really our weapon, really, in Mexico. But if we see something up, we send out a counter surveillance guy in his, you know, whatever he's in, something very nondescript, like a beat up family van, seriously. He may call it in ahead, maybe reroute us. But if we see something up ahead, we don't sit there and go, well, what do you think? What do you think? No, it's immediately within a second. Left turn, right turn, U-turn, whatever. We don't continue forward. And it's a great question because kidnappings are huge, not just in Mexico, but you know, all over the world. That's really in the old. And this is going to sound crazy to you guys that don't know much about cartels or whatever. But in the old days, with the cartel bosses, especially in Mexico, they were very good businessmen. Okay? Before they asked America to get involved in Mexico, they helped us take down the cartel leaders, which was a huge mistake because we took them down and the younger elements came up. They were not good businessmen. They were very stupid, hardcore criminals who wanted to make a mark. So let me go back to the old cartel guys. If they kidnapped somebody and the family paid ransom, they were released, returned home, okay? That's good business, all right? But we started interviewing some of these businessmen who were kidnapped. This is a long question, but I have to address this. We started interviewing them, okay? So, and you know, they got kidnapped. Why? They didn't have a security team. Now, they were driving a level 6 armored Suburban, armored Land Cruiser, you name it. Level 6, which is it'll stop at 50 cal, you know, if you just keep moving and not, you know, so stop if you're stagnant or stationary. And so we would ask him, okay, you know, after he was the lucky one, okay, that the family paid the ransom and he was released. So we would always have these case studies. Okay, what did you see up ahead? Well, you know, I saw up ahead, before they took you. So, well, I saw, it was strange at this stop sign, you know, a couple hundred feet, there were these, you know, white pickup trucks over here and over there, and they were just sort of parked there, and their elbows were out the windows, and they weren't acting natural. So it was a staged kidnapping, right? They were there, that was the spot. And then I said, how did you know that? He said, well, they were just like frozen and not talking like everybody else, you know, in their cars or acting normal, boom, boom, boom. And I said, well, why? We said, why did you continue forward, okay? If you knew something wasn't quite right.
The duck theory.
Right, no, he said, because I was late for work. I said, okay, so you got to the intersection, what happened? Well, they all came out of their trucks, they had AK-47s, and they said, get out. I said, why did you get out? When you're in a level 6 armored Suburban, why did you get out of your vehicle? All you got to do is take your freaking foot, hit the gas pedal, floor it, and you will go through them, you'll ram through any vehicles that are there. He goes, oh, I got scared. I said, okay, you had your way out. So it's a fascinating study, again, about the duck theory. It was completely preventable, even though he didn't have a security team, which was foolish. He decided he could handle this on his own, but it was foolish. But I want to tell you how blessed he was. Ransom was paid, he was released, but there was many, many cases there where the younger elements took over. When the senior cartel guys went to prison that we helped, you had these young guys who could care about good business. The people that were kidnapped never returned. Ransom paid, never returned. So we didn't fear that. It wasn't an arrogant thing because we knew what the hell we were doing. We knew we were being surveilled and watched every day for years. So what does the cartel boss do? He sends out his surveillance team looking at our American team operating in Mexico. He has to go back to the boss to say, okay, it's probably 80 to 90% probability of success if we hit them. Guess what? He went back to his cartel boss every single time saying it's probably only a 20 or 30% probability of success. Why? Because we know what the hell we're doing. We know how to use, in those early years, there were 10,000 pound armored vehicles. A 10,000 pound weapon coming at you, no matter what you have in your hand, no matter what you're driving, is a force to be reckoned with. And now, of course, the ballistic materials are far lighter and all that. So, yeah, and plus they had to deal, even though we were private sector, they would have still, the U.S. State Department will come down on them. But the only issues that we would have would be outside the actual running of the operation. The cartels wanted, and again, we're not messing with their cartel business, okay? We're not messing with their drugs or whatever they're doing. But what we did know, no matter what, the cartels wanted our armored vehicles. So in Mexico, if when you go to get gasoline, it's one of the few places in the world you don't step out of your car. You do not pump the gas yourself. Everybody knows that, right? You do not get out of the car. And in the armored vehicles, the glass goes down about that far, so you just boom. And then one day, we had one of the guys who decided, he's our top liaison guy from Mexico, great guy, Jose, and he decided, to get out and shake hands with the gas station attendant like he's running for office or something, right? But he was smart enough to stand there with the door open, the car running, and watch his situational awareness. And then all of a sudden he felt something behind him, and he looked, and there was a Suburban rolling up on him, and he could just tell, just by looking at their eyes on what they wanted to do. Anyway, so they came running at him. He jumped in the vehicle. Right as he shut the door, they fired a .45 cal at his head. Thank God the door was closed. We have the wraparound, armament right there. Needless to say, he went home. He lived. I think he took 2 weeks off. All right? But they wanted our vehicles. So from that point on, anytime we were going to gas up our vehicles, we would always go in twos. But again, he broke protocol. He stepped out of his vehicle. He became a soft target. In any environment wherever you are, you want to be a hardened target. You want to be a soft target because it's something of opportunity. It's an opportunity right at that moment, right there. Yeah.
Makes sense. So, needless to say, he didn't get out for gas again, did he?
No. That was it. And then, of course, the SOP, the standard operating procedure. If you ever get out of your vehicle, you're no longer part of the security team at all. Period. For any reason.
Thank you for your question. So to hop onto that, and of course, with whatever you can say legally and in the comfort of their comfortability, I'm being safe. Do you have any meaningful connections with clients or do you have any meaningful connections? Yeah.
You better define meaningful.
Positive.
Well, you know what? Okay, yeah. Because my daughter, when she started doing, one of my daughters, she started doing Facebook years ago. She said, "Dad, I've got 3,000 friends now. I said, really? Do me a favor, okay? Send you a little Facebook message and ask all your 3,000 friends, how many of you are willing to lay your life down for me, okay? I guarantee you, no one's gonna say, yes, I'll do that. That's really what, in my opinion, what the real definition.
That's the definition of me.
What is a real friend? Someone who's willing to lay his or her life down for yours, for mine. That's really what the true definition of a friend. Now, if you're acting like a fool and an idiot and saying stupid stuff and acting really stupid, I'm not going to back you. I'm not going to back you if you're being an idiot. But going back to your question, meaningful. No, I mean, look, it's business.
Yeah.
It's business is business. You don't really, we have I agree to this to a certain extent, but part of our training in security, whatever it is, protection, is you're not their friend. Okay? You're not their friend. Don't get too close. You've seen this in movies too, a lot of stuff like that. I was watching that really cool TV series 4 or 5 years ago called The Bodyguard, all right? Remember that? I said, that was so cool. But then it shows him sleeping with the client. He's sleeping with the lady he's protecting. I said, you know what? What a horrible security professional. What a terrible, terrible security profession. I don't care how much the boss pressures you into it. No. Your job is to protect the contract, okay? The actual written contract, okay? And the person. If you lose the person, you lose the written contract because the person is no longer there. Now you start bringing the personal elements. Easy. And one of my gifts as a security officer, other than what I do best, running them and doing all that, is the greatest downfall in any operation. Again, I talk about security ops, movie industry, and you replace it with whatever you do. The workplace is I'm real good at discerning and identifying division. The greatest downfall, matter of fact, I was asked to come to relocate to San Diego from LA to help these cross-border ops. Why? To replace an American security team that was screwing up personally. Not only were they sleeping with the boss's secretaries, they were getting them pregnant.
Oh!
So this is what turned my career around in becoming the security guy. And I told my guys, I said, here's what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to do the Billy Graham method when we're around. What's the Billy Graham method? Watch me. In other words, Billy Graham had the same secretary for 45 years. Anytime she came into his office, okay, not only were the blinds open, but the door was propped wide open at all times. At all times. I said, anytime any females, bosses, secretaries, whatever, assistants, come into our office, even though we have cameras, okay? I want the door propped open with a chair, and I want you sitting in the chair by the doorway. And guess what? We didn't have any issues. And of course, in Mexico, there's this culture. I know we got it in America too. There's this culture of men hugging and kissing women all the time. Well, look, as a security professional, I said, look, you're not running for mayor, okay? You're not running for office. We're not, and so we had great success for many, many years and didn't have any of those. But again, discerning, identifying, division. Well, that is a huge division. That's just one element of division in, let's say, a security team. The other is dealing with alpha males, okay? After the boss is settled, we're in our command post, and we become like a bunch of adolescent children, right? But any of the alpha stuff coming to a head, the boss likes me better, he wants me driving today, not you. You're going to be in the number 2 chase vehicle, and I'm going to be the lead. Any of that stuff, all that does, that is poison, and if it spreads, it's cancerous, and it will kill the entire team. So my gift is identifying that, addressing it, and if the person doesn't want to comply, I don't care. We've had the great Navy SEALs, part of our team, the cops, the military guys, they're gone. They're freaking gone. Because once you breach, once division sets in, you got to get rid of it. You got to get rid rid of it immediately. No, like, well, maybe let's give him he's already had 2 chances. No more third chances. You're out of here. Protect the contract, protect the principle that you're protecting. That should apply into whatever we're doing,
Right.
whatever your work environment is. If you're hanging out with some people that are talking real bad stuff about the boss, don't get involved, okay? Don't get involved. It'll be by association, don't even agree. Just walk away, smile, and God bless you, have a great day. Don't get involved, because it will come back and it'll bite you in the ass, and because you were associated, you may be fired too. Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So going back to the conversation about Lou Ferrigno, in a way, are there any other cast members or celebrities that you keep up with outside of acting nowadays?
Well, leading lady Melody Anderson, she was the only other American in Flash Gordon, and she lives here in the States. And we do a few Comic Cons together. But Lou, yeah, I mean, Lou and I, we probably, it used to be, but at least, I mean, like sometimes twice a week we would text. Now we're doing once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. But yeah, but I just want to mention this about A-listers in the business. Mark Wahlberg, now we don't hang out, right? But he is such a blessing to be around. He's one of the most, as an A-lister, he's one of the most humble human beings that you'll ever meet. Plus all the good causes, He's doing what Wounded Warriors, Tunnels to Towers, just unbelievable. And he's a giver. And then he's got this, a lot of people don't know, he always got this F-45 fitness thing, but that's also connected to the military. So he's just a huge, he really just gives a lot of his time, but just a great family man, and very humble, very humble. It's really, the people in the business that have a major attitude problem are the ones who think they're an A-lister, okay? They're the ones who think they're an A-lister, and some of them are not. Some of them are not only not a blessing, they're what's the word? If you're not a blessing, they're
Negative impact?
Yeah, they're a liability.
Liability.
Yeah, they're a liability as far as what we're talking about now. The human conditions, life as it is, going through it, choices, challenges, adversity, and all that. Yeah.
So on that note, we do have 10 minutes left for the panel. So if there's any questions that you guys have been thinking about and you just haven't stood up, now's a great. There you go. I'm getting you. There you go.
Tell the secrets down there.
We gotta pad the din air.
No, you can't ask any question. Don't ask him that. He might come down there and put you in a chokehold.
I just want to say I really enjoyed you in Flash Gordon. I think you're like Linda Carter to what is to Wonder Woman as far as.
I love that. I'm gonna steal that line. Sam, who are you really? I'm Linda Carter.
So when is the Wonder Woman
Linda Carter. Okay.
Well, my question, and I all due respect, but my question is: was there ever talks of a sequel to that movie? Because
let me make this answer quick. We have a phase. We have a vernacular, a term, a phrase. A phase, yeah, it's a phrase in the industry, and I'm sure you use it too. We say, "Hey, how's that project going?" It's still in development, which really means we don't have the freaking money yet.
It's the endless development.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing about Flash Gordon. I'm not making this up. Over the past 35 years, the people that came on board, the first phase of wanting to do a sequel is you acquire the screenplay rights. Then after a given amount of time, a year later, you pick up the option and you do the movie. You pay a lot more movie, you do it. Well, the people that have come on board, the 5-6 people that have come on board in the last 35 years, all reputable people, proven with a whole lot of money and a reputation, to do it. It's the craziest thing. The first was Stephen Summers, I think. Van Helsing, screenplay rights, he didn't follow through with the option. Okay, it didn't happen. After that was Neil Moritz, all the Fast and Furious movies. Okay, reputable movie, didn't follow through with the option. Fox Studios called me in 8 years ago, said, "We just acquired Fox Studios." Okay, not a production company of Fox Fox Studios acquired it, called me in for a meeting and asked me some questions. What do you want to do? We want to bring you in, boom, boom, boom. And you know, the younger elements, they had a younger guy, a younger girl that was kind of attached. And after, well, let me see. So they had that. And then Disney bought Fox 2.5 years ago and brought in Taika Waititi to write, to develop, write, direct, and produce the new Flash Gordon 2.5 years ago. So Taika Waititi and Disney have it in development, okay? Isn't it crazy? I used to think, well, what the hell is going on? If they can't do it, then by golly, give me the money and I'll get this.
Do it yourself.
I'll get it produced. But so I Googled Taika Waititi. If you go to his IMDb page, actually he's updated it. Because in the development section, movies in development, there's 18 movies that he gets to pick and choose. So it's not as though they don't have the money. It's about, okay, I've got 18 choices right now. Disney wants me to do that. Universal wants me to do that. And so I had closure on that, meaning, okay, some of these high-rolling producers, directors, it's just a matter of what do I pick?
Waiting for them to actually
Yeah,
put it up.
so that's where it is right now as we speak. And then of course I always stay in contact with King Features / Hearst Entertainment. They own the licensing rights to Flash Gordon. And they can't really talk about details, but just reading the updates on the news and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what it comes down to. Whenever, and evidently, Taika Waititi, Flash Gordon is very close to him. It had a huge impact on him growing up. So I just want to see it. I want to see it get done. I really do. Yeah.
It's got to be nice to have somebody at the helm that actually has passion behind the project. That's nice. Thank you
so much.
Of course. On that note, I will say one last thing. With all these people who can conveniently go hang out by your booth and ask him questions if you didn't have time or didn't have the heart, it's okay. It's understandable. If there's anything that they could take away from this panel and take away from you in general, if they don't see you again, what would you like them to take away from this?
What would you like to take away? Let me check my wallet first. I got that. No, you know, again, I can only speak about my successes and my failures. When it comes to life, us guys, I probably lived in insanity for a number of years, meaning, and my wife was very instrumental in having me get over myself, okay? But the insanity that I lived with in my circle of guys was we would continue to make the same choices over and over again, expecting a different end result.
That's the definition of insanity.
Sorry, I don't care how good of a guy you are, how good your heart is, that is insanity.
Yeah.
We have to change our choices if we want a different end result. And again, this doesn't take some mystery to figure out. You know, I'm a praying man. My wife's a praying lady. We just nip in the bud. We don't sit there for a couple seconds. We speak a blessing with each other. We ask God to come in and give us the edge that, the things we haven't quite figured out yet, that our human intellect can figure out. We ask him to come in and say, hey, we can't figure this out. So that to me is the edge, is really bringing in the good Lord to say, what's missing here? Help me maybe get a little bit more over me, okay? We're going to do it my way. Well, my way may be the right way, but the way I present it to my wife, isn't the correct way. It negates my rightness, right? It negates my rightness on saying my way, even though it may be right. So I'm just saying, we just need to, as men, get over ourselves. Just keep it simple, common sense, practical thinking. Listen to those ones around you who really, that really love you and really looking out. You may not want to hear the answers. And I didn't want to hear, my wife's right, I just don't right now. We don't want to hear it, but we need to humble ourselves and we need to hear it. And then just go out and whenever we hear, and here's a little elementary key thing that's really helped me a great deal, is when we open our mouth, any of us, when we open our mouth to speak, give a crap what everybody else is speaking. When we open our mouth to speak about ourselves or anybody else, we better be building ourselves up, and we better be building everybody else around us. Otherwise, keep our freaking mouths shut. It's just that simple.
Love that.
That's what we want to do. It's just that simple. That's simple.
Great send-off.
Cool?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Let's hear for Ken. What do you say?
Oh my God, no, you're for you. Can you switch the horn over?
Oh my gosh.
Squish it. Yeah, there we go. Perfect ending. Thank you so much for your time. If you want to catch him, it's weird, isn't it? If you want to catch him at his booth, he'll be here the rest of the day. Are you doing Sunday? You can get him tomorrow too. You guys still have time. Thank you so much for your time. Oh yeah, figure it out.
So I'm here all weekend. I brought a sleeping bag, so I'll be under my table for hours.